Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and I'm back again with another Batman Forever Build-A-Figure Wave review from McFarlane Toys. And this time around, we have the other main hero of the movie. We have Robin, also known as Bird Boy, also known as Nightwing, also known as Dick Grayson, college student. So, that's not what this says. This just says Robin. But if y'all have seen the movie, then you know. And most of you watching this video probably have seen the movie. So this design, it's definitely reminiscent of Robin's suit from the end of the movie. That's definitely what it's supposed to be. Now, the thing is the main thing that stands out to me is that it's the wrong color. Because the colors overall in the suit from the movie, they were a lot darker and a lot more reflective, whereas this looks more like the whole thing is made out of plastic, because in real life that's what this is, but in the movie it didn't look like this. But overall, I think it does look right for Robin from the end of Batman Forever. So I think it looks good. Now, as far as how he stacks up, normally I bring in the Batman and Robin Batman, but I figure this time around it would make more sense to bring in the other Chris O'Donnell Robin that we've gotten from the Batman and Robin Build-A-Figure wave. Obviously, this one, even though he's from a movie called Batman Robin, he's called Robin in the movie, this is clearly meant to be Nightwing. So here is Nightwing compared to Robin. Now, I think that both of them look really good. There are some shared parts, but I think that overall they look really good. They stack up well against each other. And then for comparison, here is Marvel Select Spider-Man. And I think that they look good together, even though they're different franchises, different companies, they still stack up well. And then as far as height is concerned, let's find out how tall he is. So to the bottom of his boot there, to the top of his head, it looks like he is probably like 7 and maybe like an 1/8 inches, something like that, 7 1/8, something along those lines, give or take. And then for centimeters, again to the bottom of his boot to the top of his head, looks like he is like 18 1/4 centimeters, I almost said inches, give or take. So yeah, I think that overall this guy looks really good. He definitely looks the part. Again, if you have seen the movie, you know that he basically does look like this. Not really so much Dick Grayson Robin, but more like Tim Drake Robin from the comics, even though this is supposed to be Dick Grayson, and his character is similar to Jason Todd. It's like they kind of put like the 3 most popular Robin characters and just kind of put them into one, and honestly, I'm okay with that, because I actually really like Chris O'Donnell as Robin in these movies, more so in Batman Forever than Batman Robin, but I still think that he did a good job with this role. And I think that the translation overall of bringing him into action figure form, I think it's pretty good. The likeness is there, I would say. He looks good. He is missing his earring, though. He's supposed to have an earring, but he doesn't have that. He didn't have it in Batman Robin, so that's why they probably just used, like, the same face sculpt, just gave him a different mask or something like that. That would be my guess. I don't know for sure. But I feel like this does look right. I do like the collar. And I also really like the transition from the cape going from the plastic into the cloth, or whatever this is. Now, if y'all have seen my review of the Batman Forever Batman figure, then you would know that I'm not a fan of that cape. And the reason for that is because, well, this figure shows that you can have a soft goods cape that looks really good. Like, you can't see through this, which is good. You're not supposed to see through it. But it also, it's 2 colors, like you have the yellow and then you have the black, but it's got wires in it, so it has a wire on this side and a wire on that side, so you can have the cape sort of have this dynamic shape to it, while at the same time being a soft goods cape. So I really like this kind of cape, and I know that there are other figures that McFarlane has made that are like this in terms of the cape, so it's like, can we have more of these types of capes, please? Like, if you want to have a soft goods cape, that's totally fine. Just have it be more like this, because this is a really good cape. Now, as far as the details are concerned, I do have a little bit of a paint issue with the R there, because that's supposed to be gold on that little tip there, but that's fine. So he has the details, he's very anatomically correct, which is interesting because his suit looked like this, and then Batman's suit wasn't as detailed. It was more of like a suit of armor at the end of the movie, but whatever, that's the design. Now, I will say this is kind of a design, kind of an articulation thing. I think this was really funny. When I was posing him, that happened. And I was like, oh no, his arm is being detached from his body. He's like TDK from the Suicide Squad. I don't know. But I did think that was kind of funny. Just kind of a design thing. I don't know if all of the Robin figures are like that, but mine definitely is, where his arm isn't going to fall off, but it kind of looks like it is, and that's just because of the design that they have there. It doesn't have that on that side, so I just think that's kind of weird. But yeah, the gloves look really good. I really like the gauntlets on there. They are similar to the gauntlets on the Batman Robin figure. Just not quite the same. I actually kind of like these more. It looks more like a glove with, spikes on it, which is kind of what it is. Now, there is a little bit of a discoloration between the arm and the elbow joint. It looks worse on camera than it does in person, but just be aware of that. And it's a similar thing with the knees and the rest of the leg. It's a little bit of a different color there. But in person, it's not that noticeable, but just beware of that. But overall, I think that the color really works. Yeah, I have really no complaints. This definitely looks like Robin. And if y'all are interested, like, if you don't want to have a Schumacher-verse, if you aren't trying to make the Schumacher-verse in a 7-inch form, I still would recommend this figure because he looks, for the most part, if you just look at him like this, he looks like a comic book Robin. When you get closer and you see all the anatomical details and these and that kind of thing, he looks a little weird, and he looks a lot more specifically like Chris O'Donnell Robin, but I feel like from a distance, this just looks like any old Robin, and I think that that's really good. And I think that that works in favor of this figure and this design. So as far as articulation is concerned, he can look up that far. He can look down that far. He does have his rotation, and you can turn it around and all that. It's pretty good. For his arms, they can go up about that far, including the one that looks like it's going to fall off. Now, this one is a little loose, too. I think that might be because of that. But, yeah, his arms are pretty good. They can rotate around, which the cape doesn't really get in that much of a way, especially because it has a wire in it. So if you want, you can just do that, and then the cape is out of the way. It looks really weird like that. But, yeah, there's that. And then for biceps level, he has that. As far as double-jointed elbow is concerned, he has that, too. And it's looks kind of weird, but it does work. And then for the hands, this one's really loose, like super duper loose, but it does work. And then he does have the rotation on there because he does, spoiler alert, he does come with interchangeable hands, so that looks good. And then for the torso, both joints in the torso, he can go back really far. That's really good, especially because this guy's supposed to be from the circus and super acrobatic and stuff. So that works really well. He doesn't go forward, like, that's about as far forward as he's going to go. That's not very far. But that's okay. If you want to have him do backflips, he could definitely do backflips. So that's really cool. Now for the legs, they can go out about that far comfortably, which is pretty good. For going forward, it's about that far, and then for going back, it's about not as far, but I think that might be far enough for what you're trying to do, especially if y'all are trying to do backflips. You can do backflips, no problem. He doesn't really have a thigh swivel to speak of, but I think that's okay. He does have a double-jointed knee, which looks good. He can kick himself in the butt if you wanted him to do that. I don't know why you would want him to do that, but you technically can. So there's that. There's his double-jointed knee. If I can get back to normal, there we go. And then for his ankles, they are super ratcheted, but they can go back that far. They can go forward really far. That's good. And then they can turn, and you do have toe articulation. That looks pretty good. Not the best in the world, but that's okay. I don't really care that much about the toe articulation, so it doesn't really bother me all that much. So Yeah, and then with the cape, because there are wires, there aren't any wires in the middle, it's just on the ends here, but you can really, like, style the cape however you want. And if you wanted to make it look like he's, like, lifting the cape up, you can definitely have that. So there we go. There is him sort of gliding into battle, like that. I think that looks pretty good. So, yeah, that's all we got for Robin. Well, almost all that we got for Robin. He does come with a display stand that is really nothing too special. He does come also with alternate hands. So he doesn't come with any accessories, which is fine because he doesn't really use anything in the movie. He doesn't have any gadgets specifically. So he does come with 2 fists, and that's what he came with in the packaging, and I didn't switch them out because he doesn't come with anything. But he does come with 2 gripping hands here, which look pretty good. And he does also come with this. He does come with, for his left hand, he comes with an open hand, so he could be like, hey, high five, we did a good job. But then for his right hand, he also does have a pointing finger. So he'd be like, you. Or he can point to himself and be like, me, I am Robin. That kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. I think that's pretty good. And then as far as the box is concerned, again, he does come with the display or the trading card thing. Now, I didn't take it out because it's the same blurb that we got for Batman and all the others. So if you've seen my Batman review, you would know what that says on there. It just says that it's Dick Grayson instead of Bruce Wayne, obviously. And I'm not counting that because that's not for Robin specifically. That's for the Build-A-Figure. And this will give you an idea. That's not what the figure will actually look like. That's just art for it. But it does show what Robin comes with. He comes with one of the wings. And it also shows the other figures, which I do have, and I will be reviewing them shortly. So stay tuned for that. There's the side with the really cool Batman Forever art there, the logo. And yeah, so that is about all that we have for Robin. I feel like it's pretty straightforward, and again, like, I would recommend this figure if you're trying to build the Schumacher-verse and that kind of thing. But I would also recommend getting this figure if you just want a good Robin figure. Because I'm not going to say that McFarlane has been making bad Robin figures or anything, because some of their figures are really good for Robin. Some of them not so much, but some of them are good. But I'm just saying that even if you're not really interested in building a cinematic universe, but you just want a really cool Robin figure, I think this one is definitely worth a pickup. It's a similar thing with the Batman figure. I didn't really say it, but the Batman figure is worth picking up regardless. But this one I feel like more so, that he could totally pass as just any Robin, but more specifically the Chris O'Donnell Robin, because I think that looks really good. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say with that other than this figure is worth it. He looks really good. And so if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more of the Batman Forever figures, then do be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because those videos will be coming soon. And other than that, that's about all I have to say, so I will see you all later. Goodbye.